guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Again, my name is Shamika. And if you are one of my returning subscribers, hey friend, what's going on? I am back with part two of my USPS nightmare. So, after doing a little bit of research, I was able to, oh, that's 23 pages. After doing a little bit of research, I was able to find out that the USPS recycles their, well, let me back up. So, um, after I ended up talking to my customer, right, doing a new order for her and getting that shipped out, I ended up stating that I was going to file a claim. For this purchase, most of my purchases, my shipping purchases, I get them through, Pirate Ship. I purchase my labels through Pirate Ship. And so I went on Pirate Ship to see if I needed to submit the claim through Pirate Ship or if I could submit the claim through just regular USPS. And I ended up finding out that I can do the claim through USPS. And when I was you have to talk to the chat first. And so when I was talking through the chat, answering all the questions, etc., 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 it stated something like you had to wait 20 days before you could submit a claim. And so I was like, okay, well, let me speak to a person, right? Because there was two stipulations to submitting a claim, and those stipulations were your item had to be lost or damaged, right? And so I don't meet the criteria for neither of those. And so I said, let me speak to a person. Okay. I'm chatting with a person and she asked me for my tracking number. She says, oh, okay, you do have insurance. It is covered. She says, and I said, yeah, it went to a different state versus the state it was supposed to. And she says, oh, and did you notice that the delivery date was May 31st? She's like, oh, this is a whole separate issue. You were given a recycled tracking number. So, but once the USPS scans it, it'll start tracking. Now, mind you, I had shipped my item off on June 18th. So it's like June 20 something. So by now, it should have been scanned. But going by what she's saying, once it scans, it should update. I'm just saying by now it should have been scanned. And so that means that it should have been reflecting the correct tracking and not showing that it was delivered, right? So she was like, pretty much just give it time. It'll show up. So then once I got off the chat with her, I started to do my own research about USPS using recycling tracking numbers because it was the first that I had heard of it. And of course, I work on the IT side of the house. So my mind got going because she was like, oh, there's already a fix in the works for it. And when she said that, I'm like, me working in the field that I work in, yeah, you can create a fix, but then that fix has to be tested through multiple phases, and then that fix has to be applied, and then that fix has to be validated. So it's not like it's something that's going to be done overnight, in other words. And in addition to that, there's still a possibility that the fix may not work. Chances of that happening is slim, depending on the organization. But, I was also curious to know who's recycling the numbers. Is it Pirate Ship or is it USPS? Because if it's Pirate Ship, problem solved, don't buy labels through Pirate Ship. If it's USPS, then it's an issue. So that's what prompted me to do my research. So when I started doing my research, I started realizing that this has been an ongoing issue. It's been going on for over a year. There's multiple articles online in regards to the USPS recycling tracking numbers. Mainly seems like it's affecting ground, right? Any packages that are shipped ground, and that they supposed to be recycling tracking numbers that have been already used between the last 6 to 12 months. Well, this tracking number was used in May. So to me, it was kind of messed up because, of course, that doesn't probably give the system time enough to clear out the data before the number is recycled. I don't think there's an issue with using recycled tracking numbers. I just think that the code needs to be written to where that tracking number is not on the list to be used until all the data has been cleared out, right? And so, but again, me with my IT hat on is thinking that could still cause issues in the future, because what if somebody realizes they ordered something and then they don't realize it, that they never got it until months later, and then they try to go get that tracking, and then that tracking shows that it was delivered to another state. That's a whole nother set of problems, that don't pertain to me, because I don't work for USPS and I don't work in their IT department. But hey, so it was interesting to find that in my research, right? Now, I supposed to recorded this video like, I don't know, a day or two ago, but it's just been crazy at work. So I'm just not getting around to recording the video. And right when was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. I get a notification on Etsy. I have a review. Now remember, in the first video I said there was 2 packages that I shipped that same day. One of the packages went to Georgia. The other package was supposed to be going to Iowa. Okay. Now typically when I ship to Georgia, they get their stuff from me in like 2 days because of where I'm located. Like I'm like in the center of everything. So they usually get their items from me in 2 days. But this took a little bit longer. And now I'm starting to wonder if it's because it's Ground Advantage versus first class. Because, you know, first class was what? 2 to 7 days or something like that. And now with Ground Advantage, I think it says like 2 to 26 or something like that. It really just depends on where it's going. So, but I was able to confirm that that person got, I was able to confirm that that person got their package because that person left me a review and said it was great, right? 5-star review. So clearly they got their package, and I remember their name. Now, I haven't checked the tracking yet to see if the tracking updated the way it should. I'm doing that now on my PC. But due to PII, I'm not going to show their information. So I'm just coming on here to track. It was Ground Advantage Zone 3. Okay. It went to Georgia, just like I said. And the tracking still isn't updated, y'all. The tracking still isn't updated. The tracking states that it was delivered on May 17th in Louisiana. So I'm going to record a part 3 of this video, and I'm going to reach back out to them and say, hey, you told me that when the USPS scans it, that the tracking will update. But that's not true, because this is showing that it was delivered May 17th, and I know this lady got her stuff because she left me a review and said that she got it. My concern is, I just say thank God it wasn't a tutu set, because my concern is people are going to be looking for their stuff, right? They're going to think you generated a label and didn't ship it, or they're going to think that you put a fake tracking number in Etsy. Yeah. Think about that for a second. Let that marinate. It just so happens this person didn't go check their tracking, right? So that's my issue. Now let's go back to the other lady that contacted me. We're going to call her, for her privacy, Miss K. So I shipped Miss K a second package, right? So now I'm out of double shipping, technically, double shipping supplies and a product, because this person stated that they needed their item by July 1st. And by me shipping it on the 18th, they definitely should have got it in time. And I went ahead and shipped them another product, and I shipped a priority. Now, let me tell you what I did this time. See, what I did it the first time, I put them in the drop box, which I typically don't have an issue when I go into the post office and drop my stuff in. If it's no line, I'll go through the line. If it's a line, I just got this thing about waiting. I just don't got time. I drop it in that drop box. I keep it pushing. But this day, there was a line, but I kind of stuck my head in there because, again, this is a critical issue. So I didn't want to tell this lady, yeah, I dropped it off, and then she don't see it tracking. You know, the thing is, you want to keep your rapport good with your customers. So I go through the line. The lady scans it. I grab my receipt. I come on home. Okay, I come on home, and I log on to PowerShip to see if my package has updated. At that time, it had not updated. But again, I've been having issues this week. So I hadn't had a chance to come in here and check my tracking. Right? So now I'm coming in. I'm checking the tracking for the second package for Miss K. And it says it is expected to be delivered on Saturday, which is what it stated when I created my label. And it is showing me that it is technically moving to where it needs to go in Iowa. So I do believe that based off of the information that I read online and based on my research, that they are recycling tracking numbers for packages that are using Ground Advantage. So what does that tell me? Or shall I say, what should we do about that? I'm going to go back and reach back out to PowerShip. That's going to be part 3 of my video to see what do they have to say about that. Because for me, that's unacceptable for my business. Business is already slow for a lot of people around the country, and I don't have money to just be burning. And maybe when my customers, even though they're paying, you know, for Ground Advantage, I either eat that additional cost and bump them up to priority shipping, which I really don't want to do, or do we put a, I wouldn't say warning, what's the term I'm looking for? Some kind of disclaimer on the listing stating that if you elect ground shipping / first class, please note that there's an issue with the post office and they are recycling tracking numbers, and your tracking may not be updated even though your item has been shipped. And to me, that's going to start an issue, because what if somebody files a claim with Etsy? And then Etsy's going to ask you for your documentation that the item has been shipped, and then you're going to give them the tracking number, and they're going to say, well, this tracking number say it was shipped such and such. So let me go back to that first tracking number, because I just want to see something. So when I go and I click on the first tracking number, right, it just says the item was delivered. There is no, you know, normally when you go view a tracking number, it'll say scan this day, and then it tells you every city that it hit before it got to its location. Ain't none of that on here. When I tell you ain't none of that, ain't none of that. So to me, again, that's a problem. Now, there is a spot on PowerShip that I could take a screenshot of that has the tracking, that has the customer's name, and that has the date that the label was generated. Could you use that? Yes. Is it going to be acceptable for Etsy? That I don't know, because Etsy also generates labels. I don't know if anybody else that has an Etsy shop is experiencing this, but to be on the safe side, I might just have to start generating my labels out of Etsy until this issue is resolved. Because guess what? If the tracking number is messed up and it's generated incorrectly, then it falls on Etsy. It doesn't fall on you as a business owner. And the customer can take that up with Etsy. And then Etsy can take that up with USPS. Because I don't got time. Who got time for that? So, I will come back another day with part 3 of this video on what PowerShip says when I contact them again, to let them know that what you told me was not true. the first time. My customer has confirmed they have received their order. The tracking has not updated. This is an issue for me as a business owner. And then hopefully with that, I will have my final thoughts, because my other package is tracking as I wanted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I will be coming back with more content. I got videos. I just don't have time to edit. I just hate editing videos. But I plan on trying to put more content out. So other than me griping, but I think this just needs to be put out there. If you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and share. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and I'll see you in the next one.